So this is my girl Terror. She's a Common Boa. She's 6 years old, probably somewhere around there. I know she was born in January of, I think, 2018. So she's 6 years old now, and she's 8 feet long. She's super tame, although I had her walk and she slithered pretty far, so she's like got a big energy burst going. But one thing I haven't really talked about with her is
I've got an escapee.
So she has bulb tail, which is caused by overbreeding and stuff. When I got her, she was already 4 years old, so I've only had her for 2 years. But the person who had her before me bred her too young or too often, and so basically she has like pee and stuff gunked up like in her tail, and I can't really afford on my salary to get it fixed. If you guys would like to start any kind of like GoFundMe or anything, let me know in the comments. I'm just gonna kind of watch her and hope that she goes to the bathroom regularly. Today she kind of blew up her enclosure, so I'm worried it might be getting worse, but in the 2 years I've had her, it's kind of stayed the same and it doesn't really look any bigger, so hopefully it's fine, but I'm not sure. So this is Terror's enclosure, freshly cleaned out. It's 4 by 2 feet. Terror also has this hide here, which she fits very comfortably in, and it takes up about half the enclosure. She probably takes up like 2/3 of it on the inside, and then of course you gotta have a water dish. So I have a few different thermometers in her tank. We have one on the hot side, one on the middle that also monitors the humidity, and one on the far side, the cold side. And during the day they all stay about 80. At nighttime they drop down to like 74, 75. And then she has this little heat pad here, which I always talk about them, but I haven't been showing them. So I'm going to show what that looks like. Also, there's all these wet spots because whenever I give them their hides and stuff back, they're always wet, just because it'll increase the humidity in there, and then I'll also give them a nice spray down. But this is what a heat pad looks like for boas and snakes in general, but a snake that's going to be chilling on the ground, you want to have a lot of belly heat for them. So like tree boas, that might not apply to. You might want to have a lamp on them, but any snake that's going to be chilling on the ground, you want to make sure they get lots of belly heat to digest their food properly. That's why I recommend heat pads instead of the lights. When she's not shedding, I try to keep Terror's humidity between the 40s and the 60s, but when she's shedding, I like to have it up in the 60s to 70s. Of all my non-venomous snakes, Terror stands out most for her natural beauty. She isn't any crazy morph or anything, but that bright red on her tail just goes to show that nature can be so beautiful. If she doesn't love me, she at least trusts me. With her slithering to me like this, it always blows my mind. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that I've given her all of her food and stuff. It just blows my mind that, like, she's so smart. Because people say they can't love. And I mean, I guess if they've seen the brain chemistry, they know the truth, but she's definitely very smart and she definitely trusts me. I always talk about getting enrichment for your snakes, and essentially what that means is just letting their brains learn new things, study new things outside. You can tell that it just makes their day. They always get super tired out after, and when they're out, they always really enjoy it. You can see Terror here is up looking around, just taking it all in, getting her brain exercised. gave Moon a nice little spray down like it rained on her, and for a while she was just drinking the dewdrops off her body. Like you can actually see her head muscles like slurping it up at first. She's shedding right now, so I figured I'd spray her. So this is also another good example of showing you guys the snakes aren't slimy. They're very dry and like smooth, and the water just kind of sits on them. Alright, so we're feeding Tara right now, and as babies you'd probably want to feed them once a week, something the thickest part of their body. She's over 6 years old, so we only feed her once a month. Once they hit about 4 years old, you want to slow down their feeding. She punches really hard. I'm like scared she'll just take it when she wants it. So we just got a new rattlesnake. Haven't come up with a name for him yet. He's an albino western diamondback, so we're gonna keep him with Chimera. As you can see, he has a giant head and a very skinny neck because he has giant venom glands. He's fully loaded just like Chimera. We were just at the expo today and just happened to see him and thought that Chimera would absolutely adore him, so figured why not? And Charlie bought him.
Holy shit. He's big, boy. He's like, okay, I'll just go this way. He's like, okay, I'll just go back in here then. That is so funny. He doesn't care.
He is a big boy.
What's wrong with his butt?
What do you mean what's wrong with his butt?
Because maybe it was just lighting.
So he still has those rings. He's got 1, 2, 3. He has the same amount as her, but we are certain of his sex because the breeder actually tried to breed him with another male and they didn't go together too well.
Well, he kind of has a fourth wing if you just look upper. It's just hard to see because he is white. It's cool because we can really see how the rattlesnake moves with him being albino, like, because he doesn't blend in with the carpet at all. Honestly, he just wants to stay in there.
I wanted to take a second and explain what's happening here. So he's very heavily locked onto my hands and all the movement up there. And my gloves are not bite-proof, so it's not safe to put the lid down yet because it could strike my hand. So that's why this part takes so long. You're okay, buddy. See, that was a very good first interaction. Now, he's very probably overwhelmed from the expo, so that with him being so long like that, he's almost easier to handle than Chimera. Just start right over.